Hi everyone, are you interested to know my tech setup when I do online teaching? I will tell you immediately.
Okay, the essentials. Really, when we start now, the important thing is to have a computer. Okay, I don't know if when your universities have closed, they have distributed all the laptops and all the computers that are resting in that empty building. I hope they try to think of the usefulness of that and distribute it to all of you, because who's using that only goes, right? So I'm saying we have to maximize that resource. Hopefully you can get those because that's very essential. You have to look into the specs. And again, you have to go into Google search to see, for example, you want to download Google Classroom, you want to download Canvas. So you have to see the system requirements. And sometimes I have to tell you, because I have experienced this, you really have to invest in a very good computer, because it can destroy the learning experience if you are there and then suddenly mag-shut down your system. Why? Because probably with so many apps working at the same time, naghang na yung computer. And that was my experience about 6 months ago with Lenovo that was 3 years old, fairly new. I mean, I'm the only one using that. 3 years old is still new because, but probably it's like a workhorse for me. So it hung on me, blue screen. Sometimes they say the blue screen of death, BSOD. And the first time that I had that blue screen of death, I deleted everything. And that was a bad decision because there are some things that were in my desktop that I was not able to save. So the second time around that I had the blue screen of death, I already Googled search how to save your files. So I was able to save some of my files, because sometimes I downloaded files, but I just put it first in the desktop until all my desktop is full of files already. Somehow in the first blue screen of death, I lost those files. And then second time around, and then third time around. And I said, just restoring all the defaults and all the programs, it really costs a lot of time. So I had to compute how much time have I wasted trying to restore everything. And I said, I'm going to go for a Mac and a better Mac. So I'm now a Macintosh user. Good. So you need a computer. And if possible, you talk to your school administrators to make sure that in case we have an extended lockdown, the computers there could actually be maximized, not just for the mice and the insects there in the building. I hope it can be distributed to the human beings who really need them. Just an idea, okay? So the internet, there is a way to use your data plan using the personal hotspots, okay? Yes, I hope you can Google that using, if ever you have internet connection here and suddenly you need Wi-Fi, then you can use your phone as a personal hotspot. Okay. You have to add bandwidth to every communication, because a simple, I don't know, if you're used to just emailing, opening your email, now this time is different because video conferencing might need more power in terms of the internet. Last Saturday, I did video conference, and I was not here in this place where I was using the fiber connection, the PLDT, which is like 30 Mbps. I was upstairs using my, I don't have commission from Globe. I'm just telling you that January, after my Christmas vacation, I came back January 24, I bought this Mac. I bought this prepaid Wi-Fi, and I really found it very useful. Why? Because in case that my smart plan will be finished with the number of gigabytes that I have in the plan, I have this prepaid that's going to work for me for the rest of the months. For example, I finish my own smart data plan on the 26th, then I just have this Wi-Fi to work on. So, but the thing is, it's not as powerful as the fiber. Probably it goes 6 Mbps upload and download, but still, it's useful. And sometimes it's the software that will adjust. For example, I was doing, I think that's Ecom, that's a live streaming to YouTube. As I started it, I went live and I got a message from the software, because you have a low bandwidth, we have adjusted. So sorry, they're intelligent. They're adjusting for me. And then of course, the more that you want to get into online learning, some softwares can be heavy. For example, Viber can be heavier than, I don't know, Facebook Messenger. So with that, you have to really see what is the minimum that you can get when you're going to subscribe to more plans. And then what else do I use? So I think that's it. I use this plus my prepaid Wi-Fi. It's a router, very nice. And another thing that I like with this is, I have to tell you my trick. I was like spending 2 months thinking, will I change my printer? Because it should have been like a Wi-Fi printer. I've had it for 3 years. And I really don't like anymore the cables. But the thing is, somehow it's not working. So I've gone to several places already to ask how it can work. But with this router, I just clicked something. I followed an Indian instructor online. And finally, I was able to do AirPlay. Wow, it was really the most joyful day, because after some months of trying to make it work, to get to do away with the cable, you know, I have simple joys. And then the extender, I got this from, it sounds like MI, but it didn't work because my house has a lot of cement. So I'm just going to sell it again in Carousel. But it's very useful. I've used a PLDT extender for several years. PLDT, you can just ask PLDT for their, sometimes it's called, again, I need some help here. The booster, yes, it's also called a booster, but I have another name. Thank you. You are very participative. Yes, that's it. Repeater, thank you very much. I actually sold my PLDT repeater and very useful to the buyer. But suddenly, I found myself needing a Wi-Fi extender because I changed house. I moved my office from UAMP to another part of the house, which is so far from this fiber connection, which I told you is like going into 50 Mbps. So I tried, I bought this, but still somehow it didn't work. Anyway, it will be useful, but I recommend that if you find that the Wi-Fi is not good, then you make use, first of all, of an extender. It's not expensive. I think I bought this for about less than 200 pesos. And then another thing that's very useful as an app is go to speed test. So I'm going to check my Wi-Fi, the connection right now. It's very useful. Why? Because if you're having difficulty, you just change your internet, your router, put it nearest the window, nearest another window. It's very useful. My download is good, 42, imagine, 42. And my upload is 36. Really good, no? But, you know, every time I had to do a webinar like this that really needs strong connection, I need to bring down my office using a cart, no? So in any case, I don't do live streaming every day. So it's all right. Okay, so I think that's very useful. Try it, no? If the internet does not work, first check the using speed test. That's the app. Everybody's using that. I think Google also has its own speed test. I actually tried it, and I found that even with the cable, I actually started with using this. But in the end, I found out that in Mac specifically, it somehow was not working. So I was just using my Wi-Fi. So thanks for that. It's good to always try everything. Okay, that's great. You are all very participative.